What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be installing an ARB air compressor in my truck. Super excited about this. It's going to be really useful to me on the trail and stuff like that. Just being the air up and air down on the go instead of going to a gas station and stuff like that. Now this video is going to be, it's all posted at the same time, but I'm going to break it up into different days just because at the time of the recording this part I realized I forgot something for the wiring. So in this portion I'm just going to show you how I'm mounting the actual compressor in the engine bay, and then the connectors that go to the hose quick release. And then probably sometime tomorrow I'll record the actual plugging in the wires. We might run the wires in right now, but I'll have to wait and find out for that. But everything else just right now is gonna be for mounting the compressor in the engine bay. I have some ideas where I want to mount it. My first initial thought was maybe right here, but I am planning to get an aftermarket intake, so that'll go right there in that spot. So I can't go there. So my next choice is probably right here on that empty space right there. I will have to drill some holes just for extra security as far as mounting it, because there is four slots you need to drill in. I only have 2 there. So I'll figure something out. I'll draw a little template out and show you guys then. But yeah, that's it for right now. I'll get back to you guys once I mount the bracket to hold the compressor, and I'll get back to you guys then. All right, I'm back, and right now I'm just gonna show you guys how I built this T adapter that connects from the compressor to the actual hose itself. Now, ARB does make a T adapter, but of course it's sold separately. So either you pay like 20 bucks shipped for 2 of them, or you order the whole, I believe it comes with the whole inflation kit, which is close to 90 bucks. But it comes with the hose and everything, and that's everything you need. But I just figured to make my own. So I got this one here, Harbor Freight, probably like 2 bucks. As you can see, everything has thread seal tape on it just to make sure everything is airtight when you put it together. So basically, everything here, the outlet is a 1/4 inch. So everything you're working with is gonna be 1/4 inch after that. So right here, we have a male and then 2 females, I believe. Yes, male, 2 females. This right here is a double male. This is a connecting piece. Remember, all 1/4 inch. And then this is a female 1/4 inch that connects to the coupling for the hose. Now, what I want to do is connect this adapter straight into the compressor, and basically just form my own T bracket. So it'll look like that. This right here is the fuse for the compressor, just so it shuts off at a certain rate, so you don't have to worry about it running off when you're not using it. And this end here will just go on the end like that, and it'll connect to the hose. And that's basically the main T that I use. Now it'll connect right there, and I still gotta figure out how exactly I'm gonna position it, just because I'm not sure where I'm gonna mount it in the engine bay just yet. But once I get this mounted, I'm gonna mount the bracket first, and then I'll mount this, and then I'll mount the T to the actual compressor, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like when we're in the engine bay. So this is a front view of the compressor. I rotated this tank here just to have this out of the way, and this is what it looks like after fully assembled. So this will be plugged into, plugged into these 2 wires here. These 2 wires will plug onto these 2 prongs, and that just shuts off the compressor when it hits like a certain PSI when it's not being used. And then obviously this part will be attached into the quick release hose, and that's the main T fitting. Now I probably will adjust this tank, the angle of it, when I do get it mounted. And to do that, it's just a 10mm bolt right here. Just kind of loosen it, and then you'll be able to move it freely. So then, yeah, I'll cut it back to when I have it mounted, and I'll show you guys how it looks then. All right, so we're back. I successfully mounted the bracket on this part of the engine bay right here. I am only running 3 of the bolts. As you can see, the hood stress kind of in the way, so I don't have clearance for all 4. Hoping it'll be okay. They are pretty snug. Show you guys. Very snug there, so we should be fine. Now I'm just gonna unscrew it, mount it to the compressor, and then mount it back in the same spot, and I'll get back to you guys when I do that. All right guys, so we're gonna call it a night. We ended up just getting the bracket mounted, nothing else, because I started to mount the compressor, then realized I still have to run the wire harness through the grommet to the compressor, and there's not that much clearance with the compressor mounted, because it's comes up about to right here. So maybe that much, like an inch to run my wires through. So I'm just gonna wait, mount the compressor last. In the morning, I'm gonna go to the store, add a fuse, just so we can plug everything in nice and neat in the cab. And then we'll plug everything in, get it mounted. So I'll see you guys in the morning. So one thing I forgot to mention is that when you're actually mounting the bracket that holds the compressor, there's 2 lock nuts you're gonna have to use. And then for me, it's easier because I have no fender liners and I trim my fenders back. But that's where they are right there. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Come on, right there. Where those 2 are mounted. And then there's the 3rd one. I'm having a little bit of issues trying to fit the nut on there, but I'll get it on right now because there is limited space on these 2 right here. This one isn't that bad, but these 2 right here are where you're having the most trouble trying to get that on. I just want to throw that in there when you are mounting the bracket for the compressor itself. All right, guys, welcome back to day 2 of the ARB compressor install on the truck. Today should be our final day for installation. Right now I'm going to focus on getting the wiring harness plugged in, ran through the firewall, plugged into the switch, and then into the compressor, the mount compressor, and then it should be done. So I have the wiring harness kind of laid out for you guys right here. So this whole assembly is going to be plugged. This whole thing should be inside the cabin of the truck. So these 2 wires here are going to be plugged into the switch. Or excuse me, they're going to control the switch. They're going to be plugged into your fuse box. And then this harness here, the one that's isolation switch, that one's going to go to your switch. These 2 are for, I'm assuming, lockers, but we only need the isolation switch. And then this one here is going to get plugged into this once they get attached to those prongs. And this one is going to be the one that actually goes through the firewall. And then we have here the relay, the fuse, and then obviously power ground. And then these 2 prongs here are what attach to the shutoff switch on the compressor. So right here. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I did grab some out of fuses from O'Reilly's just so I can get them cleaned up and plugged in nicely in the fuse box inside the cabin. I do have some in there already, so I'll have to kind of mess around and move stuff around and clean it up a little bit. But we'll probably just focus on getting the wiring harness through the firewall first, and then I'll get back to you guys when I get that done. All right, so while I'm here, I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys my go-to method for running stuff through the firewall. Now, I'm sure there's ways to do it that are, you know, as if a certified technician would do it, but the way I do it, I just zip tie my wire to a plastic chopstick here. In this case, I did use some heat shrink on the ends just to protect the tongs. I don't want them to get bent or anything like that. And then zip tie it to the chopstick and just run it through. Because I already have a hole cut through the firewall, a little grommet there, so that's how I run it through without damaging the wire or the prongs itself. All right, so now that we're inside with the wiring harness plus the secondary harness that connects to the switch, we're gonna go ahead and set that up real quick. So shipped to you out of the box, they do not attach that attachment for the plug, just so you can run it through without any troubles. So then when you attach it, all you're gonna do is make sure it corresponds with these wires here on this plug. So let's see if you got a good shot there. It's gonna be red wire top left, black wire top right. Yellow wire bottom left, and then green wire bottom right. So all you're gonna do bag open. So you're gonna match your orientation with the switch and then just follow the exact same thing. So once you know which way it's supposed to go, it's pretty easy. There's a clip on the bottom, there's nothing on top. You can do the exact same thing. Let's get our black. There we go. There we go. So just know they probably will be reversed so that they can match each other, if that makes sense. If not, I'll show you guys right now. All right. So that's how it looks after I plug everything in. As you can see, red will go straight across right here on the bottom, black goes straight across on top. Then on the bottom we have yellow going straight across, and then green going straight across on the bottom here as well. Hopefully you guys can get a good shot at that. Get the focus a little more. There we go. It's all nice and plugged in. Wires are corresponding with each other, and then that step is done. All right, I'm back, and at this point I went ahead and just put all the harnesses together. Basically did everything except connecting it to ground and power, just so you guys can get like a kind of a grand view of what I have done, if it works, as it's put together. So you have your your wires plugged in your switch here, and then this was switch 1 and switch 2. I just wrapped them up into a rose just to get them out of the way. And then I most likely am going to change this. Let's see if I can get you good in there. Because I don't like the way those two added pieces on the bottom. Let's see. These two right here. Those are the ones that I have connected to the compressor. And you see those top two are at a really nasty angle right there. And I will more than likely change those once I finish this test. And then I'll update in a new video if I do change them, or I should say when I do, because I really don't like that. But after that, let's go to the engine bay. So you have your main power harness right here to the compressor, and then obviously the 2 tabs going into the shut-off switch. And then after that, it's just ground and power that I gotta hook up right now, and then I'll get back to you guys with the test. We're back. Everything's hooked up to ground and power. It is a mess right now, both inside and outside with wires, just because I do not want to tuck everything away without doing a first test, and then have to pull everything back out. So, I'm gonna turn the truck on. Probably did hear it did click on, because I guess I had the switch already flicked on. That's how it's gonna look. Then when you flick the ARB button, it's out of the compressor. So that's pretty neat. Now I am gonna connect the hose just to see if I get air out of it, just to make sure there's no leaks. Cleaning up here, one thing I forgot to mention is that this switch they provide you, super good quality, but it does not fit in the OEM holes in the Toyota dash. Now all you gotta do, all I did, is get my Dremel, just kind of all the edges, smooth them out, and then go a little bit deeper on the edge on the outside. And then as you can see, snug fit, but it goes right in. Super sick. All right, I'm gonna keep cleaning up all the wires, and then I'll get back to you guys. So the hose connected to the compressor now. Switch it to on. Do have air coming through. Okay, so we know that works now. Now, I did not feel any leaks on the T-fitting or anywhere else. That does not mean there are no leaks. Your best way to test for a leak is to use soapy water, spray on your housing, and then just look for anyone that has bubbles on it. So now that I know everything works, I'm going to clean everything up, and then I will get just an end view for you guys after that. All right, guys, I am back with the finished product. Got most of the wires tucked away. Everything's mounted pretty tight. It's going nowhere. Now, I'm really happy with how this turned out. There was a couple issues that I ran into, nothing major. Just fitment stuff really. So one, as you can see, I have a drilled hole right there I didn't use, just because of these hood struts that I have. It just kind of took away some space there on the very top. And then besides that, it was just the switch not fitting directly in the cabin. But like I showed you guys, just a Dremel, just kind of round it out, cut off the edges, and then it'll fit just fine. You want a snug fit, so don't trim off too much, just so it's nice and firm in there so it won't fall out on you. But yeah, another shot of the compressor. Super happy with how it turned out. I'll show you guys inside. Everything's tucked away. I still gotta put the cover back on, but it's all put away. Switches in there. Nice and neat. Go ahead and throw it on. So, yeah, so when it's off, it's gonna be on this bottom switch, and then when you activate the ARB is when the switch is on. And if I pull my key out, it should, yeah. So the switch is wired into ignition fuse, so when you pull your key out, it'll shut off on its own. Otherwise, if it wasn't wired into that fuse, it would stay on with the key off and just kind of kill your battery. So thankful for that. So I am gonna attach the hose right now and actually air down one of my tires, and then air back up with the compressor and show you guys how that works. Right, so I have the hose hooked up now, and I'm just gonna show you guys the actual working shutoff switch for the compressor. So I'm gonna turn the truck on, hit the switch, and the compressor will come on for like a second, then it'll shut off. So that's pretty cool that it actually works the way it's supposed to. So I'll turn the compressor on, off. It just detects whether there's air leaving the hose or not. If it's not, then it shuts the compressor off. Pretty neat. All right, so I'm back, ready to do the air up test with you guys. This is my first time using it, so I'll be this is just watching it for the first time along with you guys. I have this tire air down to right now, I believe, to around about 10 psi. I usually keep mine around like 30, 31. So let's see. Connected to the compressor. Turn the truck on. And I'm gonna set a timer on my watch since I am recording on my phone. So I have my stopwatch here. So let's get this end. Go ahead and click start. So we are at 55 seconds. I'm just gonna see what we're at. About 15. gonna check it again. Right now we're about 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Getting pretty close. Now this is my first time airing up with the compressor. So at the end, when it hits the 30 PSI, I'm gonna subtract about 10 seconds, about 5 seconds each time that I checked, just to get as accurate as possible. I'm gonna be honest, and then just take away those 10 seconds from me checking, and then I'll give you guys my honest thoughts. Take a look now. So right at 31. So we're about 3 minutes, in like 10 seconds, about 3 minutes and 5, 6, 7, a little over 3 minutes to air up the tire. Honestly, not that bad. Could be a lot worse. Obviously, once I get my, once I build, let me shut this off. There you go. So I am going to build another connector on the end of this, which has a gauge on it, which tells me what the pressure is without me having to take it off, check it each time. So that'll of course make the air up time faster, but 3 minutes, really can't complain about that per tire. Super satisfied with that. It's going to be super useful on the trails. Yeah, can't complain at all. Hope you guys enjoy this install. I will be recording a trip in about 2 weeks here, just up to the mountains, just a run for my birthday. I'll be using this, so will my friends, so that should be a lot of fun. Keep you guys updated. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the install and the test as well. Any questions, comments, concerns, leave them below. Follow my Instagram, check me out there. That's about it for me today, guys. Thank you for watching.